And come back late. Kyler turns it on when he needs to in the second half. And the Rams, obviously limited and not the same team they were a year ago. Still good. And like you said, they'll go as far in San Francisco as Jimmy Garoppolo takes them. But we'll see over the course of the next 13 games what he looks like and how this team continues to grow. So I'm very curious to see how the NFC West continues to unfold because down in the South, in the NFC South, Evan, barring a just unbelievable second half collapse in Atlanta in the opener, the Atlanta Falcons would be sitting alone atop the NFC South through 4 weeks of the NFL season. Let me tell you, Evan, it was an absolute delight watching the Falcons on Sunday. No Myles Garrett in this one, which, again, speedy recovery. Well wishes to Myles Garrett coming back from his crash. I was concerned still with just how good the offensive line Cleveland was going to be because the Falcons do not have any sense of a pass rush. Once again, it's a tradition unlike any other here in Atlanta. But Grady Jarrett, I mean, you talk about the best defensive player in football. Grady Jarrett's not the best player, Evan, but he is so clutch and he is so good when he needs to be. And he has a huge sack late in this one that puts Cleveland back fourth and a billion. And obviously they do not do anything with it. Brissett throws it up in the air. Not Richie Grant. I forgot who ended up coming down with it. Richie Grant was last week. I forgot who came down with it yesterday, actually. It wasn't Jalen Hawkins. I don't remember. Maybe it was Alfred. I think it was Alfred. But either way, they win late, and the Falcons are 2-2. The offense is fun. I don't know if you saw on Twitter today, Nate Tice tweeted out a clip of one of many Caleb Huntley big-time runs when Cordarrelle Patterson could not play really in the second half. We had a drive, Evan, where they ran the ball every single play, and they scored a touchdown.
Why is that, though?
Well,
that's what's the most interesting part of that story to me.
Well, part of it is just Arthur Smith is just pulling stuff out of his butt in terms of scheming these guys, whether it's Tyler Algier, Cordarrelle Patterson, Caleb Huntley. He is just a mastermind at run scheming. Like, I think that's a major part of it, regardless of who's at quarterback.
Well, no. So, I mean, the thing that I'm talking about that I thought was interesting, or at least to me, was that after Marcus Mariota had a very bad play, I think it might have been after his interception, they ran it that many times in a row, and it was what led to a touchdown drive. That was Arthur Smith looking at Mariota and saying, I do not need you. And I mean, in the moment, it's fun and it's exciting. I hope that the Falcons can continue this momentum, but I thought that was really funny. And then to score a touchdown doing it.
I mean, Elimine Zaccheaus had a big duck catch, which, as you alluded to, Marcus Mariota is just not good. He's doing just enough to keep his job week over week. But the story is just 35 carries, 202 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 2 TDs as a whole for this group. And Cordarrelle going to the IR, I'm a little concerned about that. So he's gone for at least 4 weeks. But, I mean, Caleb Huntley looks good for a couple weeks, and you drafted Algier for this reason. 10 carries, 84 yards, 8.5. He runs hard. Nick Chubb was great for Cleveland, but Cleveland's just not. The thing about Brissett is, and he averaged 6.7 yards per attempt in this one, and it felt like it. And then there's just something with Brissett that he just doesn't take the chances downfield. He just does enough. And it's weird that Mariota is more aggressive than him at this point in his career, because I think early on he was definitely not an aggressive quarterback when he came in the league with Tennessee, especially going downfield. And he does take downfield shots. Like, he is not afraid to take downfield shots. It's just not always very accurate. But for every bad ball, he throws some good balls. Like, he's not awful. It's not like a Mitch Trubisky situation in Atlanta, but it's also not great. And you have to wonder how much longer you don't go to Dez when the quarterback play is like this. And if you're a running identity team, you might as well just see what you have. And I mean, I think the other part of it too is just the Falcons have gotten way more out of their offensive line than I think any of us would have predicted, because there was a lot of questions here. Elijah Wilkinson did not have a great game at left guard, but by and large, the holes are there, and the offensive line has played far, far beyond what I had ever anticipated was a possibility. And Arthur Smith is just coaching his butt off, man. Like, the Falcons offense, the defense, it is what it is, but the offense is 1,000% legit, and I think folks should probably be a little scared once Arthur Smith gets a little bit more talent on this side of the ball, because I think it's on pat to be one of the best offenses in the NFL.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that. Did watching the Pittsburgh Steelers game, or at least seeing what happened with it, did that maybe give you as a fan that juice to kind of go, okay, let's get Ritter in there?
I mean, I want to see it anyway, but it's also like the offense is good. So as long as the offense is still humming with Mariota, I understand why Smith is doing this. I mean, they could easily be 3-1 with Mariota right now. So I think until Mariota really sputters, he had another almost fumble lost. He dropped just another shotgun set where it's like he's not paying all the way. It's so weird. You would never. It feels very college, very high school. Right. What happens, and he does it once or twice a game. He'll take a dumb chance downfield once or twice a game, but he's fine. Marcus Mariota is fine for right now, and it's a long season. You still got 13 games. It's not like there's an exact time you need to get Ritter in there to see what you have. But the Steelers weren't moving the football. The Steelers were having fans just revolt at the lack of productivity for their offense through 3 weeks, right? Like, that was the difference, is like the offense wasn't humming. The offense is humming outside of Mariota. Drake London is having an offensive rookie of the year type start to the season. The Falcons are running the football with ease, no matter who's in the backfield right now. I think that kind of keeps put Ritter in there, folks, at bay for at least another week or two. But look, I would prefer Ritter in there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to happen eventually. Marcus Mariota is, as much as I love him and as much as I am an Oregon fan, it seems like he will be a good backup for years to come.
For sure. He's somebody you want in a pinch. If you need a quarterback for a month or whatever to keep the thing afloat, then Mariota's a good option.
I would like, if Trey Lance does get going, I would like Mariota to come be the backup for him.
I could see it. But we are a ways away from that, my friend. Who do you feel across the NFL better about this week than you did the previous week, Evan?
49ers. How do you ask that?
You can't do the 49ers. You can't.
I mean, I know, but like, of all the questions that you could possibly ask, I mean, the most obvious answer would be the 49ers. I mean, hey, the Raiders to me, I thought were, obviously one of the worst football teams.